We're here to talk about sourdough. We bake off 8 loaves of sourdough fresh every day for our customers. It all starts with Peggy. This is our starter here. Basically, a starter is just water and flour mixed, and then you keep feeding it over a process of 5 days, and you let the natural wild yeast build and grow. And so Peggy is a culture that's been going about 12 years now. You need to feed it every day. If you were just to leave it, it would go flat and eventually it would die. It would run out of sustenance. So the next process is the actual bread itself. You mix Peggy, strong bread flour and water together. You mix it, you leave it about half an hour to bond together, and then you add a little bit more water and salt. The reason for not adding the salt at the same time is because salt is a yeast killer. So you give it that half an hour to let it bond with the bread and start to sort of build with the gluten, and then you add the salt. So this has been proven over a whole day. Keep turning every half an hour and putting the folds into it, and then you fridge it and let it sort of naturally and slowly come up overnight. So basically, when you're shaping sourdough, what you want to look for is you want to look for that almost sort of white tack, sticky consistency, so that it looks really hard to shape, but actually it will make your life easier in the long run. So you want to take a little bit of flour and just dust it over the top. So there's about 4 loaves. We're just going to break this down. So you want to take one of your loaves and pop it down on the skin side. You want to just sort of stretch itself out, and this is sort of forming the knot in the bottom of the loaf, and this just stops it kind of popping out the bottoms when you bake it off in the oven. Roll that one over on itself, bring them in, a little bit more flour, and you kind of want to tie the bottom together. So we're going to pop these in their baskets and let them prove up for about an hour before they go in the oven. This is just to sort of let them rise and give a bit more size. So when you pop it in the oven, you want a little bit of moisture in there. The best way to achieve this at home is actually just to sort of use what's called a Dutch oven. Our ovens here actually have its own sourdough setting that we programmed into it. That's nothing more than an ease, but it's not to say that it won't create as good a loaf. It's better for you than other breads because it's got that natural yeast in it, so it starts to break down the gluten already. So obviously if you have a gluten allergy, it's no good, but if you've just got a slight gluten intolerance, it's better for you because it's easier to digest.